My name is Nigel from Reyes Fleet Management. We're going to do a PM on the Leyman side gate. The first thing you want to do is check the charging system. I hooked up a multimeter to good ground, and we're going to check the condition of the batteries. Next thing I'm going to do is check the charging voltage. I'm going to turn on the Thermo King unit, or you could turn on the tractor, depending on your application. Okay, check your reading. It should increase. Okay, record your reading on the battery, off the battery charging system on your PM sheet. Next, we're going to check the battery box and battery condition. First, you check and see what the spec sheet and see what kind of battery you're supposed to have inside of your battery box per spec sheet. Check your connections for tightness and corrosion. Then check your hold down. Make sure your batteries don't move. Next thing we're going to do is do a battery load test. Now we're going to load test the battery. First thing you want to do, connect your terminals. Go to battery test. Enter. We already inspected the battery for dirt, leaks, and cracks. Enter. We already inspected the post and connections. And we connected to all the leads on the battery. Enter. Battery temperature is 80 degrees, 12.63 volts. Enter. The cold cranking amps of the battery is 1,000. Enter. Battery type is an AGM battery. Enter. And we're doing a load test. Enter. We have a good battery and it passed the load test. We're going to take it down. And bring it out. Open the flap. And check it up. And check down. And we're going to check going back in. And up and locking. Check your safety decals. We're going to open up the gate and check the ramp coming down. Okay, check the safety lights. Check your spring pin on both sides. And check your light. On the flaps, check all your welds and your pins, both sides. Make sure your shut flaps are secured. Don't move. They lock, so they don't move anymore. Inspect your torque rods. Make sure they're secure in the pins. No movement on both sides. Okay, step on the ramp and see if you get any kind of movement. Too much movement, you got bad bushings. Look, we're gonna raise up the ramp. Make sure it's level with the floor. Also, you want a 1/4 inch distance between the trailer and the ramp. If not, you need to adjust it. Next, you want to inspect your cylinders. Make sure there's no leakage, and make sure the cylinders are secured and no movement. And check your hoses, no leakage, and take the rear pin for the cylinder. And check both sides. We're going to inspect the rollers, make sure they're moving when rolling in. Next, you want to check the harness going through the lift gate. Make sure it's zip tied, secured, no cuts or chafing or any damage to it. Also check your ground wire. Make sure that's secured, not corroded or loose. Next, we're going to bring the liftgate in and check the latch and lock. Make sure that's operational. Make sure it sits in the cradle properly when the Liftgate is all the way down and locked into the latch. Check all your welds for all your hardware on your cross members. Make sure they're secured and not damaged. Location of the grease fittings. Got one fitting here and one there for this crossbar for the lock and latch. You got two on this side for each roller and two on that side for each roller, and you're gonna have one inside the pump box for the gears for the chain. And make sure your chain has no slack. As you see now on this side, we're going to check the slack on the other side. You got one here for that pin, and you have another one here, this pin. Also, one on the inside of this pin, and the other side. Grease fitting here. Got one here, and down on the bottom pin. And the other grease fitting is going to be inside the box. We'll check that on the other side. Grease fitting here. And there's also another grease fitting on the other pin. Also on this side, the grease fitting here at this pin. And on the inner pin, there's another grease fitting there. These two grease fittings, there's a fitting here on the side, and there's another fitting on the side of the gear. Okay, check your circuit breaker, push in, make sure it's not popped out. Also, you want to check your emergency auxiliary pump. Turn to the left, lowers the lift gate. Pump up, raises the lift gate in case of an emergency. You also want to check the fluid lines, make sure there's no leakage or damage to the lines. Next, you want to check the wiring. Make sure the wiring is not loose, chafed, or any kind of corrosion. And check your relay, check the wiring also, your ground strap, make sure everything tight, no damage or corrosion. Next, we're going to check the fluid level on a lift gate. That is gravity down. You check with the lift gate all the way down. The level should be 1 inch from the top. This level is good. Last check that you do is to reset your maintenance minder. First thing you do, go to menu 2, hit enter, scroll up, and follow the on-screen instructions. This completes the PM on the Leyman side gate.